welcome back to the Smoking Sun channel. In this video, we'll look at the chilling and infamous serial killer John Wayne Gacy, the Killer Clown. This dark chapter in history left a lasting impact on the nation, as Gacy's terrifying deeds sent shockwaves through society. But before we begin, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell to stay up to date. And here we go. John Wayne Gacy was born on March 17, 1942, in Chicago, Illinois, to parents John Stanley Gacy and Marion Elaine Robinson. His family background played a significant role in shaping his early life. Gacy's father was described as a strict and abusive man, prone to outbursts of violence toward his wife and children. The hostile environment at home was compounded by financial struggles, creating an atmosphere of instability and tension. Gacy's relationship with his parents was fraught with complexities. While he shared a particularly difficult relationship with his father, he was close to his mother, often seeking solace and support from her. Nevertheless, Gacy's mother was said to be overprotective and had a dominating influence on her son. During his childhood, several indicators of potential trouble emerged in Gacy's behavior. He was described as a solitary and introverted child, preferring to spend time alone rather than with his peers. Additionally, he exhibited signs of bedwetting until his early teens, which can sometimes be linked to unresolved psychological issues. Gacy's relationship with his father was marked by emotional and physical abuse. Accounts suggest that he endured regular beatings and harsh verbal insults from his father, which likely had a profound impact on his emotional and psychological development. The trauma of such abuse could have contributed to the formation of antisocial tendencies and a distorted sense of self-worth. As Gacy entered adolescence, he began to experience conflicts related to his sexuality. He reportedly struggled with his homosexual inclinations during a time when societal attitudes toward homosexuality was extremely negative. Some believe that this may have added to his inner turmoil, exacerbating pre-existing psychological issues. To cope with the difficulties of his childhood and suppress his feelings, Gacy developed maladaptive behaviors such as seeking attention with approval through exaggerated displays of extroversion and charm. His later choice of profession as a clown and his participation in community activities can be seen as attempts to gain recognition and mask his true nature. While understanding his early life does not excuse his heinous, chilling serial crimes, it provides valuable insights into the complex interplay of factors that shaped the man who would go on to become one of America's most chilling serial killers. Gacy's first marriage was to Marlynn Myers in 1964. They met while Gacy was working as an assistant manager at a fast food restaurant in Waterloo, Iowa. The couple seemed to have a relatively stable relationship at first, but it was not without its challenges. Gacy's emotional distance and increasing work-related travel began to strain the marriage. During his first marriage, Gacy and Marlynn had 2 children, a son and a daughter. Despite the appearance of a happy family, Gacy was already engaging in secret homosexual activities and acting out his violent fantasies. The facade he maintained was one of a loving father and husband, while in reality he was using his role as a family man to blend into society and hide his sinister actions. In 1968, Marlynn Gacy made a shocking discovery when she found pornographic magazines featuring homosexual content in their home. This revelation shattered their marriage, and Marlynn filed for divorce in 1969, citing Gacy's erratic behavior and emotional distance as a reason for their separation. Following his divorce from Marlynn, Gacy married Carole Hoff in 1972. Carole was aware of Gacy's previous marriage and the fact that he had children. Despite his earlier marital issues, Gacy projected an image of a reformed man seeking a stable family life with Carole. Throughout his second marriage, Gacy continued to engage in secret homosexual relations and commit his heinous crimes. He used his position as a successful contractor and a community involvement, including his activities as a clown, to gain the trust of others and maintain the facade of a responsible and trustworthy family man. As Gacy's criminal activities escalated, so did the tension in his marriage with Carole. She began to suspect that her husband was hiding something and noticed inconsistencies in his behavior. The marriage eventually deteriorated, and Carole filed for a divorce in 1976, unaware of the depths of Gacy's depravity. Both of Gacy's marriages had devastating effects on the families involved. Marlynn and Carole, as well as their children, were left to grapple with the shocking revelations about a man they once trusted and loved. Gary's manipulation and deception not only impacted his victims, but also deeply scarred those who were closest to him. Gacy's modus operandi was characterized by cunning deception and manipulation. He preyed upon vulnerable young men and teenage boys, often promising them employment opportunities or offering money. Gacy used his dual identity as a contractor and a clown to gain the trust of his victims and their families. Once lured to his home, he would overpower them, subjecting them to horrifying acts of torture, assault, and eventual murder. The true extent of Gacy's crimes came to light on December 21st, 1978, when police executed a search warrant at his home in Norwood Park Township, Chicago. During the search, investigators uncovered human remains buried beneath the crawlspace of his residence. Subsequent searches on the property and in nearby locations revealed additional bodies, painting a harrowing picture of the scale of Gacy's depravity. John Wayne Gacy's victims were young men and teenage boys from diverse backgrounds. Some were runaways, others were lured by promises of work or money, and a few were even employees or acquaintances of Gacy. The following are the names of some of Gacy's known victims. Please note that these are just a few of the known victims. The full list includes 33 individuals whose lives were cut short by Gacy's malevolence. Gacy's killing spree extended from 1972 to 1978. The 33 identified victims were aged between 14 and 21 years old. Gacy's ability to deceive his victims and their families, as well as the transient nature of some of his victims, initially made it difficult for law enforcement to connect the disappearances and uncover the true horror of the situation. The revelation of Gacy's crimes sent shockwaves through the victims' families, inflicting profound pain and trauma. For years, many families were left grappling with the uncertainty of not knowing the fate of their missing loved ones. The discovery of the truth only intensified their grief and underscored the chilling reality that even seemingly ordinary individuals can harbor unimaginable darkness. The investigation into Gacy's crimes was extensive and meticulous, and Gacy was arrested on December 21, 1978, and proved to be uncooperative during police interviews, providing little information about his victims. Gacy's trial commenced on February 6, 1980. The prosecution presented compelling evidence, including testimonies from survivors and recovered items from Gacy's property. While Gacy's defense attempted an insanity plea, the jury found him guilty on all the counts. Following his conviction, Gacy faced sentencing on March 13, 1980. The jury recommended the death penalty, and Judge Louis Garipo upheld the decision, stating that Gacy's actions warranted the ultimate punishment. Despite the possibility of appeal, Gacy's death sentence remained intact. Gacy spent over a decade on death row at the Menard Correctional Center in Illinois. During this time, he maintained his innocence, blaming others for the murders and continuing to assert that he was not responsible for the horrifying acts committed against his victims. However, his denials were met with little sympathy from the public or authorities. On May 10, 1994, after years of appeals and legal battles, John Wayne Gacy was executed by lethal injection at the Stateville Correctional Center in Crest Hill, Illinois. Before his execution, he declined to make a final statement. Gacy's execution brought closure and a sense of justice to the victims' families, who had endured years of grief and uncertainty. The legacy of John Wayne Gacy's arrest, sentencing, and execution extends beyond the individual case. His crimes sparked discussions about capital punishment, mental health, and the importance of recognizing the warning signs of potential serial killers. The case also prompted changes in missing persons investigations and law enforcement practices to better protect society from similar predators. John Wayne Gacy's crimes were a horrifying display of human malevolence, leaving a haunting legacy in criminal history. By remembering the names of some of his innocent victims and understanding the harrowing details of his crimes, we honor their memories and reinforce the importance of vigilance and awareness to protect society from such monsters. That concludes this video, and thank you for watching. Please hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell, and leave a comment. See you next time.